Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be giving you a bit of advice on how to prepare for an asylum interview. The asylum interview is a very important step in your application for refugee status. It is a chance for you to put your case across to someone from the Home Office. They will make a decision based on what you say in your interview. So your application will be rejected if you don't go to the interview. So make sure you attend your interview. Your interview will happen after your screening. So it could be anything from a week or a year or even later. So you need to make sure that you've given them the right address, because once they post the letter, it could get lost if it's not the right address. So you need to be really cautious about that. And the Home Office will send you a letter, so like I say, telling you when your interview will be. So make sure you give the right address. It could be anything from a week to a year or even later. So it is really important that you get an advice from an immigration specialist before your interview, or you can actually comment down below your email address, or I can send you my email address if you want me to, and I can give you more advice on that. Your case is more likely to be successful if the evidence you have is prepared properly. So it is very hard to do this on your own. So if you do need help, you can let me know. As an asylum seeker, you might be entitled to a legal aid, but this depends on your savings and your income. So if you get legal aid, you won't have to pay for your legal advice. So it will be free. So if you're eligible, don't let anyone charge you. You'll spend money for no reason, so don't do that. And before your interview, you should ask for the interview to be recorded if you want to, because you have a right to do so. But you must do this at least 24 hours before the interview. Asking for the interview to be recorded is a good idea, just in case you have an interpreter who makes a mistake, or if you're not sure that you mentioned something in the interview. It is better asking for your interview to be recorded. There's no harm in that. It is your right, so it is a good thing to do. Your interview letter will tell you on how to do this. So it will tell you on how to do this. If you're not sure, you can actually contact the Home Office, or rather the number that is written on your interview letter. You can ask for a female or male interpreter if you need one. So make sure you do wherever is makes you comfortable. Don't hesitate to ask if you need to. The Home Office will send you a preliminary information questionnaire before your interview. So basically, this questionnaire is done mainly for the Home Office to know more about you. So you should ask your legal advisor to help you with your questionnaire, but you do need to return the questionnaire by the deadline on your interview letter. You can ask for more time if you need longer to complete the questionnaire, or if you want to find a legal advisor. The questionnaire, as I said, it is a chance for you to tell the Home Office more about the background before the interview. So it might include questions such as why you're afraid of returning to your home country, what happened to you and when. So the Home Office could use this against you, so you gotta be really careful about it, because if you say something in your questionnaire or in your interview that is different from your screening interview, then they can use that against you. So if you've said something wrong at your screening interview, you should explain why to your interviewer at the actual interview. So if you've not been sent a questionnaire, it is a good idea to send a written statement to support your claim before your statement. You should ask your legal advisor for help with this. Yeah, so never hesitate to ask. I mean, this is an important application, so it is better to do it the right way. You will have to travel for your interview. They usually take place in big cities like Belfast, London, Leeds, and Liverpool. So it is better to plan your journey ahead. And if you're receiving asylum support, you should be sent a travel ticket. It might not arrive until the day before your interview. If it doesn't arrive, just call the number on your interview letter. Your interview will say who you need to take with you, so you don't really need to take your children to the interview, even if you're applying on their behalf. So they might distract you during your interview. And remember, this is a very important interview. Try to find a friend to look after your children. If you can't find anyone, you can just call the number on your interview letter. So the Home Office will either find a new date for you to actually, they'll find a new date for you to actually find a child carer, or they can actually find a child carer for you that is close to the interview. You can't take a friend or a family member to the interview because it is considered a distraction. So it is normally you, the interviewer, and the Home Office interpreter if you need one. You can take a lawyer and the interpreter. However, this won't be covered by the legal aid unless you're a child or a vulnerable person. For example, if you're disabled or if you are seriously ill. So you have to make sure that you have that in mind. Your interview can't go ahead if you don't have the documents that are needed. So the documents are as follows: your application registration card, that is your ARC, your passport or a travel document, a police registration certificate, your birth certificate, or evidence of where you're living, for example, your utility bill. What happens at the interview? Well, the interview is a chance for you to talk about everything that has led you to applying for asylum. So it is likely to be emotional for you, but it is important that you are honest throughout. There is no set of time how long the interview can take. It could last a few hours. So if you send a questionnaire or a written statement beforehand, the questions will be based around the information you gave. So you should expect the interviewer to ask questions about why you've left your home country, why your home country is dangerous for you, how to go to the UK, so how you got to the UK and when you go to the UK. So you have to keep that in mind. But if you don't know how to answer a question, it is fine to tell the interpreter or the interviewer that you don't know the answer to the question. It is better to say, I don't know, rather than just guessing. Or if there is something you're not comfortable answering, you can just say you don't want to answer. You have a right to do so. You can actually ask for a break as well if you need one. The interviewer should understand this. After your interview, you have 5 days after the interview to send a statement, or you can make a representation. So during this time, you can mention anything that you didn't talk about during the interview. You will be told how to do this after the interview. To make your statement, make sure you take the following step. 1, listen back to the recording of the interview if you have one, if you have requested for it beforehand. Check that nothing was misinterpreted, for example, by an interpreter. Think about everything that you wanted to mention on that day and make sure that you have covered anything that you would help in your case. Lastly, make sure that you include anything you've missed out in the statement. You will be told where to send the statement on the day of the interview. So make sure you take that step. What happens next? Well, after you've sent your statement, you will get a letter in a post from the Home Office. If you don't hear within the first 30 days, well, you're unlikely to hear for another 6 months or more. Even though the Home Office will tell you they'll have a target of 30 days, it is very likely to stay until 6 months if they don't get back to you after the first 30 days. But if you have a specialist or a lawyer, they should be writing to the Home Office every 3 months, so you should follow up on that. Your lawyer especially should contact the Home Office regularly if they've not done already. So make sure, but you have to follow that. You are entitled to an asylum support until you get your decision. So an asylum support means you will get housing, you will get money support, so you won't be deported while you're still waiting for your decision. You can find more about the interview and the asylum process on the Right to Remain website. So yeah, do your research. Don't be scared or anything like that. You'll not be deported until your case has until the Home Office have made a decision on your case. So if you've got any question, as I said earlier on, just comment down below and I'll answer any question that you've got. If you want any help, just comment down below as well and I will get back to you. Thanks for taking your time to listen to my video. Subscribe, comment, like, and I'll see you in the next video. The next video I'll be talking about refugee status. So after you get your asylum, how would you apply for your refugee after you get your applying for asylum, how would you go on about getting your indefinite leave to remain? See you next time. Bye.